Return of the Lost Ones. Written by David Liberto. Narrated by William Harmar. Prologue. With a heavy limp, Fenric eagerly advanced down the long hallway without a soul in sight. His left sandal broke the unusual silence as it scuffed against the cold slate imported from another continent. The central palace tower had been cleared under the pretense of releasing a new research project. Mandrate innovation often resulted in casualties, and the local populace would opt to take a brief vacation instead of risking an obscure death. The fabricated announcement had a purpose. The most advanced mandrates in the world wanted this meeting to be a secret. Normally, sycophants would be crawling all over the central palace tower like ants, desperate for an ounce of attention from a master. But quiet reigned in the empty halls today. Fenric's worn shoe scuffed the ground again, breaking the silence. Fenric was about to have the attention of the entire Ampestrian High Council. Centuries. He had waited centuries for this opportunity. Obstacles, adversaries, and failures had been removed, overcome by sheer will, except for one last hurdle. The High Council. They would decide his fate. His master had informed him there were a few council members who opposed his will, as they sought to promote their own disciples for such an infamous quest. No. It was his, and his alone. Not wanting to miss his chance, Fenric increased his pace. He rarely minded his limp, acquired a few hundred years before, but he was determined to arrive exactly on time. Fenric's body wasn't as horribly deformed as those of advanced power, the archmandrates. Mandra had its costs, especially on the body. One could tell a lot about a mandrate by how deformed they were. He entered a dark, circular hall, giant bronzed columns buttressing a vaulted ceiling that funneled into the main tower above. Resting in the exact center of the dark, enclosed rotunda, a circular steel platform with 9 wedges waited. Each wedge held sculpted images representing the 9 main disciplines of Mandra. Wrought iron sigils formed a perimeter around the circle. Fenric mounted the steel platform, the focal center of the palace. In turn, the palace was the center of Karagal, the capital city of Ampestria, the cradle of Mandra for the entire continent. If you wanted to advance, this was where a mandrate had to be. He only waited a moment. As expected, the circular platform separated from the ground with a smooth levitation, and Fenric ascended to the pinnacle of his career. He marveled at the unseen energy flawlessly maneuvering him to the top. Invisible beauty. Fenric rose through the council chamber's floor opening as the platform slowly decelerated to a halt, drawing flush with the floor and aligning each of the 9 wedges with its respective triangle, which lined up with one of 9 thrones. The Archmandrates, horribly deformed masters of Mandra, the most feared beings on the continent, sat in almost complete darkness around him. Archmandrate Quon, the head of the High Council and Prime Minister of Ampestria, ignited the yellow globe under his black-scaled right hand, illuminating a metal wedge under Fenric's feet. "We have already called the session to order. Fenric, disciple of Genter, and Stacia, my disciple, have been summoned." To his right, a shimmer in midair coalesced into a large, flat oval, revealing a female, lithe and seemingly untouched by Mandra. Stacia was on assignment in Cordier and had been a long-time rival of Fenric's. Her mission was crucial to the High Council, but his quest could do more, much more, for Empestria. But there were risks. Cordier was hostile to mandrates. Greater risk, greater reward. Fenric scanned the thrones. He was among great beings, and this was his opening to join their ranks. Prime Minister Cohn continued. We have already heard the arguments for the mission. Fenric, Archmandrate Genter has recommended you, and the Council has agreed that you have the required skill set to complete the mission. Do you accept? Fenric bowed. Oh, yes. Prime Minister Cohn, I accept. Any further objections? Cohn asked. From the Oval, Stacia said, I ask the High Council to consider my petition to secure the target for Fenric's mission. I am better suited, and I believe the chance of success will be higher. Fenric barely contained his mandra from the instant rage. If anyone had escaped his reach and had the experience to challenge him, it was Stacia. The orange wedge lit up, and Fenric's master, Archmandrate Genter, spoke. Stacia has her own target, and we don't want to compromise her years of work. Fenric's competency in this matter has already been established. The green wedge lit up, and from the dark came a dry, craggy voice. There is no certainty in either case. Nothing should change. Prime Minister Cohn said, The Archmandrate of Divination has spoken. Stacia, your objection is valid, but keep to your own task. Both are crucial pieces. Yes, Master. Fenric's tension evaporated, but he would not forget her objection. Fenric, you will depart immediately for the Cordiaean border. Your supplies have already been transferred. Travel by conventional means from there, and yes, your requests for compensation have been approved, if you succeed. Fenric couldn't suppress his smile. Thank you, Prime Minister and High Council. Prime Minister Cohn's black-scaled hand tapped the globe once more. Do not underestimate the Tainted One. We will be watching. Excellent, Fenric replied, bowing. Cohn added, Stacia, the Council has ruled that you will begin the next phase. Yes, Master. The clock was now ticking. Their missions had connected pieces that required sensitive timing. Fenric would ensure his part did not falter, and he grudgingly conceded that she would most likely perform well. Success was imminent. You may go. May Karak, in his benevolence, grant you success, Cohn finished. Stacia's image faded, and the oval disintegrated into an ethereal green mist. Fenric bowed to the High Council as a black oval bordered by electric ropes of green and purple materialized to his right. His chance had finally come. Adrenaline surged through his body like the first time he had used Mandra. All the pieces had aligned. Now, he had to execute. Fenric stepped into the darkness.